Hello everyone, my name is Adey Purohit, a data analysis intern at the Start Tech Academy. I will be discussing the solution to task 1, part 2, and task 2 that were assigned to me. So, in task 1, part 2, I was supposed to create a financial dashboard out of different data that was given to me. So, I have been given four datas and I have to create specific charts referring to that data accordingly. So this is the first data and I have to create a line chart out of this given data. So I have already created this, but let me show you once so that we can get a context of how to create it. So I'm deleting this and creating it once again. Let's just select the data first that is given to us. Go to insert tab, click on this line chart options and select this option to create a line chart. Now here we can see that one column is given in amounts and the another column is given for percentage. So the values do not exactly match. These figures are very large and these figures are very small when compared to the net profit figures. Let me show you. The net profit margin are in percentage and they are very small, 8, 9, 11, 12, etc. compared to the net profit. So we need to what we need is we need another column or another region of marking on the right hand side for this line so that we can visualize it easily. So right click on this, change the series chart type, click on net profit margin and select OK. That's how we create a line chart with different types of input fields which do not exactly correlate. So this was the first subtask. If you want to change the styling of this particular chart, you can click on this brush and select whichever type you like. Let's say I select this one and it will get selected. The same way, just a second. Yeah, the same way I created column chart for the revenue respective to the year. So this is my chart. The years are mentioned with these colors, columns of the specific colors, and the revenue is represented by the height. We can easily say from this chart, column chart, that in the 2016 year, the the revenue, sorry, was fairly above this mark. Then in 2017, which is the orange column, it was nearly touching this mark. Then in 2018, it was touching this mark, and so on. The third chart, I was supposed to create a pie chart out of the expense breakup data. So the expenses of the firm were divided into these categories, and this other category was again described here below. So what I did was, instead of selecting this whole expense breakup and then this whole expense data, what I did was I selected this data, hit enter, control, and then select this data, because what the other row is representing in this line is actually the total or the summation of all these expenses which are mentioned below. So we need not repeat this uh, order entry. So that's why I am creating the pie chart out of this data. All I did was select this data, go to insert, selected the pie chart, and that's how the pie chart got created. If I do not want any category or I want a category to highlight it, I can simply select the chart. I can click on brush to change the style also, as I mentioned earlier. These are the different styles. If I don't want marking, I can use this. If I want marking, I can use this, and so on. Let's I select this, and the description of all those expenses represented by different colors are given below. The fourth one is a bar chart for the targets and what was achieved till now. So these are the expenditure targets and what was achieved till date. So if you closely observe, instead of creating a bar chart for all the data that was given to us, we actually need to make a bar chart, or specifically it's a column chart only. So we need to create it out of this selected data, and we need not include this achieved one. That's because 70% of this figure is this, and 61% of this figure is this. So this actually represents, this achieved column actually represents this data only, so we need not add redundancy using this thing. So again the same thing, select this, go to insert, and select this column chart. If you want to insert a bar chart, you can insert a bar chart. If you want this kind of bar chart, you can insert this kind of bar chart. I think this column chart is specifically more visually explaining and easy to understand, so I use this one. You can use whichever you want and change the stylings and use other options using this feature. And if you want to add any filter, you can add it using this. So if I do not want the target, then I can deselect it, so it will go in that way. And I have also added these three extra KPIs from this profit and loss statement, so that our evaluation, the analysis of the KPIs becomes easier. So I brought all these charts and all the KPIs together into one worksheet, and this is how it looked like. This is the dashboard, and these are the KPIs. Now it is very simple for the company stakeholders to analyze and visualize the data, and have actionable insights from this data. That's all about task 1 part 2.